Hello, I'm Courtney, a certified personal trainer and nutrition specialist. Today we're going to be talking about nutrition levels, what they are, why they are important. So hopefully you'll get a lot of good tips out of this video. So make sure you stay around to the end. Don't forget to like and comment down below. Also, make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to be posting more nutrition and personal training content later ahead. So let's get into nutrition levels. So what is a nutrition level? We can think of a nutrition level as a pyramid. There's 3 sections to this pyramid. The bottom is level 1, middle section is level 2, and the top section is level 3. Now, the bottom of the pyramid is the most least advanced with the nutrition skills, and towards the top you're going to get to that superior nutrition level. Most people are going to stay at a nutrition level of 1 throughout their entire life, and that's totally okay. Also, I would say about more than 90% of people will be at that nutrition level 1. Nutrition levels 2 and 3 are for more advanced people. This is for people who maybe have goals towards getting on a competition stage or have to eat specifically for their sport, like gymnasts, Olympians, or pro level athletes. So we're going to start off with going over what a nutrition level of 1 is and what that can mean for you. So we're going to get into it now. Just wanted to say before I get into what a nutrition level 1 client would be, I just want everyone to know that it's okay to be at a nutrition level of 1, and there's no need to strive to get to that nutrition level 2 or that nutrition level number 3. Nutrition level 1 is a great place to be at. It's a comfortable place to be at. Let's go over the goals of a person who's at a nutritional level of 1. Number 1, maybe they want to lose weight, build muscle, feel better, improve energy, improve sleep and recovery, improve health markers such as maybe you have blood pressure, high blood pressure, diabetes, or you're obese and you're just trying to prove those certain health markers. Maybe it's a decision between you and the doctor that you need to fix things, and these things can be fixed through nutrition. Also, to improve your relationship with food, have a healthy relationship with food, and then also work on better performance. So those would be the main objectives for someone who's at a nutrition level of 1. And as you could see, most people have goals like that. Like I said, that nutrition level 2 and 3 are usually for people who maybe are just so, they have further goals like competing, or they have to get into a certain shape for their specific sport. So like I said, most people are nutrition level of 1, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great place to be in. When you start getting into that level 2 and level 3, there could be some distorted eating habits that come about just because of how specific you do have to get with your nutrition once you get to those levels. Why it's important to know what your nutrition level is because you want to know what protocols you should take. If you're nutrition level 1, you don't want to be doing things that a nutrition level 2 and 3 are working on. You want to get down to the basics and the simples first before you get to super specific nutrition regimens. So when you're at level 1, like I said, there's a bunch of things that you need to work on first before you can start doing those level 2 and level 3 protocols, right? So people will come to me with, oh, I can't have carbs, I can't eat bread, I can't have potatoes, there's too much sugar and fruit, or I need to try keto because keto works and I heard ketosis burns more fat, or you can't eat past a certain time. And clients worried about the wrong things. They're worried about those specific things like meal timing and all of that sorts, which is not important for a level 1 client. That's more important for the people who are at nutrition levels 2 and 3 who need to get a little bit more specific because they've already mastered the skills of a level 1. So what I want you to do is grab out a notebook and grab out a pen, and I'm just gonna read off some of the things that level 1 people need to work on first. And if you feel like you resonate with anything that I'm saying, or you're struggling with any of the things that I'm talking about, I want you to write it down, because at the end of this video, those are the things that you're gonna have to look back on and pick one thing at a time to work on and make sure that you master. These are a bunch of skills to master before you move on to anything else. And like I said, you never have to move on to those nutrition level 2, nutrition level 3 protocols. You can stay at level 1. But these are the things that you want to work on before you're worried about if there's too much sugar in your strawberries, or if you need to do intermittent fasting, or if you need to take a fat burner. Like, let's do these things first. Make sure you master them down. I'm sure you'll be happy with the result you get from just mastering these things down. So let's get into it. These are the issues that nutrition level 1 clients will have. I'm just saying clients, but just people in general. So I'm just gonna say that you are at a nutrition level 1, and these are the things that you may have problems with and things that you need to work on to better your eating skills, cooking skills, prepping skills, all things like that. So let's get into it. I have a little list here that I made out for all the things that level 1 should work on. So here are some of the issues now. Let's get into the little checklist here. So 1, you're eating too many processed foods. That's a no-brainer here, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. Also, not getting enough wholesome foods. If most of your food is packaged foods, well, that's something that you can work on. You need to go through the wholesome aisle at the grocery store, pick out a bunch of fresh veggies, fruits, potatoes, rice, pick all the good things, some lean meat, even maybe some fat meat. That is okay. So definitely wholesome foods all the way through. Another thing is that you're not getting enough variety within your diet. So maybe to tell if you're really getting variety in your diet is to see if you're having balanced meals of carbs, fats, and proteins. Maybe you don't understand what those macros specifically mean, but look at your plate and see if it's colorful. And then also notice that if you're changing out food, like you're not just eating broccoli for every single vegetable that you eat. Sometimes you have broccoli, maybe zucchini, maybe spinach, or for your carb source, you're not just eating sweet potato, but you're getting sweet potato, maybe you're getting regular potato, maybe you're getting rice, or you're just switching up that carb source. Same thing with meat as well, like you're not just eating maybe chicken, but you're switching it up. Maybe you're having turkey, ground beef, you're just switching it up. That is how you know you're getting diversity within your diet. So moving on here, you're dehydrated. So if you're someone who struggles with water, you want to work on that first, right? Making sure you're getting enough water per day. What I recommend for that is just get a really cute water bottle, and that'll keep you motivated to drink your water throughout the day. Maybe put some lemon in it if it tastes better, and it'll help you drink it more. But water is definitely something that holds a lot of people back, and it's such a simple thing to do. Another thing is that maybe you're struggling with drinking and eating too much sugar. Maybe you have just a huge sweet tooth, you eat a lot of processed baked goods, or maybe you like to bake and you bake a lot of goods, or you're eating a lot of candy. Start there. Let's try to trim down on the sugar. If you're drinking soda, that's something that you really want to try to work on cutting out. Maybe switching over to diet soda and then slowly lowering your intake per week with the soda. So next up, we have drinking lots of alcohol. If you're drinking lots of alcohol, everything in moderation. You just want to start to cut it down. I could definitely make a whole other video about alcohol and what kind of drinks that you can drink and what I would recommend you doing to work on your fitness goals while maybe still maintaining that social life and having alcohol at the same time. So I could do a whole different video on that. But if you're someone who's drinking alcohol all over the weekend, don't worry about your meal timing, because you have bigger problems. Your bigger problem is that you're drinking too much alcohol, and there's so much excess calories, and calories just going to waste and not going to good use. So that is for the alcohol. If you're struggling because you're eating meals without feeling satisfied, you should feel satisfied after you eat a meal. If you're not, that means you probably didn't eat enough, or you didn't eat maybe enough wholesome foods just to keep you satisfied. You shouldn't walk away from a meal being like, wow, I'm hungry. That means you did something wrong. Maybe you didn't get that variety. Maybe there wasn't a balance of carbs, fats, and proteins to keep you full. So that is something to work on. So if you find yourself overeating or undereating, you definitely want to take a deeper dive into that and see what the root cause of why you're doing that. Another thing is also irregular eating habits. Let's say you're someone who wakes up and just does a bunch of things and doesn't realize that they haven't eaten, and it's 4 o'clock, and then all of a sudden they have to eat a bunch of food because they forgot to eat throughout the day. That's something you kind of want to focus on first before you're worried about other things like intermittent fasting or just like being scared of certain carbs. Figure that out first. Also, we're going to keep going here. If you are struggling to recognize hunger and satiety cues, maybe you can't tell when you're hungry, or maybe you can't tell when you're fully full and when you should stop eating. That is something you want to work on as well. Also, eating too fast. If you find yourself eating too fast, go ahead and work on that. Another problem would be eating while distracted. Maybe you are doing work at your computer while you're eating your lunch, and that could be definitely a problem as well because you're not really enjoying what you're eating, first of all, but you're not giving your body enough time to realize that it just ate, and that could lead to snacking throughout the day. So definitely don't want to eat while distracted. Another thing that a nutrition level 1 person would need to work on is just their cooking and prep skills. Maybe you don't know how to cook. That's something that maybe you want to work on. Maybe not going and getting prepackaged meals or just buying for convenience, but actually learning how to meal prep at home is really important. Also, just again, like lacking grocery shopping skills. If you can't go to the grocery store and like know exactly what you should be bringing into your home, that's something that you want to work on as well. Also, if you find yourself someone who is not very consistent with their eating, let's say you say that you're going to, you know, let's say you go on like certain binges of like eating really good and then, not eating so good. You want to make sure that you're consistent all around and it just becomes a natural eating habit. So yeah, not being consistent is definitely something that a nutrition level 1 person will need to work on. Sometimes level 1 people have an all or nothing mindset, and that's something you kind of want to throw out the door. You don't want to be like, oh, I need to, work out and then eat super duper clean and healthy, and I have to do this for until I lose the 5 pounds or whatever. You want to make sure you're not doing an all or nothing approach, right? Because that's just going to lead to failure, and failure will lead to the cycle of giving up, and then it keeps continuing. So all or nothing mindsets never work. Also, another poor mindset that I run into a lot is people saying that they just don't have the genetics, and using genetics as an excuse as to why they can't reach their goals. You definitely should not let genetics or the thought of not having good genetics lead you to having bad and unhealthy eating habits. It's just an excuse, honestly. So if you're someone who finds yourself in a poor mindset, that's something you definitely want to work on. Another thing would be struggling to make just healthy choices when you're at events, when you're at a restaurant, maybe like a family party or something. If you can't make good decisions when you're not home, you might want to work on that as well. Another thing would just be making impulsive eating choices, like I said before. Using convenience over just meal prepping the meals for yourself is another skill that you want to work on. So now that we got that all out of the way, you can look down and see everything that you wrote down of what things, oh, I kind of do that, or I do that, or I need to improve on that. And then from that list, you can take whatever approach you want, but it's just like a good little guidance of the things that you actually should work on before you start worrying about, again, meal timing and supplements, or tracking your calories or tracking your macros. You don't have to worry about those things until you've done the simple work, right? And it's not so simple. I mean, some of these things are really hard to overcome, and these are eating habits and eating behaviors that you want to consistently be able to do before you move on to more specific nutrition tasks. If you find yourself struggling from any of the tasks that I mentioned, again, this is just a really good guideline of the things that maybe you need to work on and the things you should prioritize on. If you're looking at your list and you see like 10 things on your list, Don't think you have to work on all of those all at once. That would be crazy. You don't even have to work on all of them. You can just pick 2 or 3. I recommend choosing one at a time and then being really consistent with that eating change or eating behavior before moving on to the next one. You want to find what works best for you and something that you're able to actually do. Maybe you pick a task that I just mentioned to work on and you cannot do it. That's okay. Pick another one that's easier to master and then work on that. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Leave some comments down below what kind of videos you'd want to see next. I can also make a video on nutrition level 2 and nutrition level 3 if you're curious to see what kind of specific nutrition regimens these people will follow. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Courtney O Fitness. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll be posting out more content, I promise. And I actually posted 50 at-home workouts that you can choose from. So take a look at my channel and pick out a video if you're in need for a home workout. But again, thank you for joining me in on this video. I really hope you found something to take away from it. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you in the next one.